Okay. All right. Live. Let me see if I get some better lighting. Hold on. Let me get some better lighting. Okay. So there, I think it's a little bit better with the lighting. All right. Um, Quarterfinal recap, and it's still, I guess, kind of pending with me and Carlos. And what a shootout this matchup was. Um, I was expecting it to be very close, considering we both have one win against each other in the season, and close matchups during the season. And with his pitching, that's why in a little matchup preview that I posted on the group me, I said the advantage went to him pitching. When you got Verlander and Scherzer and in Giolito or whatever his name is, you're going to have the advantage. Plus, he has two relief pitchers that can get him saves, and I have no save opportunities. My two relief pitchers are useless. One is NA. Greg Holland he's in the minor leagues right now, and then Evaldi, who I picked up, who I thought was going to be the closer for the Red Sox, who has an RP tag, has now been starting for them. So I have no shot at save. So the advantage went to Carlos pitching, and I had said I had the advantage with the offense, and it came through that way. So I have, I believe, 9 categories locked up. So the worst I can do is tie. If he can get Bogarts in Sunday Night Baseball, which I'm watching right now, if Bogarts can get him a walk and a stolen base, he will tie me. We are in the 5th inning right now, and Bogarts should probably get maybe 2, maybe 3 more at bats, depending on how the way the game's going. It looks like he might get 3 more at bats. Hopefully, a few of you saw the Group Me post and will join in if you can. I see one person is in the feed. I don't know who's watching. But yeah, so the offense, I felt I had the advantage, and my team really showed out. I'm just going to go through the stats where we're at right now. And he took the pitching, and the pitching was close. See, my pitchers, I needed them to secure me a couple categories pitching wise, and they did. Man, they really held their own. Odorizzi got me 10 Ks, one outing. Charlie Morton got me 10 Ks in an outing. Decent ERAs. I chose Mike Fiers this week. The guy has been really good this year. Has almost 20 quality starts. He's 13-3 on the year, and I liked his matchup. And he didn't give me a loss, so I was able to secure losses because those guys, even though I didn't get any wins, I didn't get any losses, and he got a loss. So that secured one category pitching for me, and I just needed one other one, and I was able to lock up total bases. And so I knew if I can get 7 out of the 9 offensive categories, I could secure a tie. And the way, Dale sent me the breakdown on Yahoo, and according to Yahoo, if there is a tie, the tiebreaker is based in a head-to-head league will be based on the point differential on the matchups during the season. And when I played Carlos the first time in week 1, he beat me 9-7. And then when I beat him in week 14, it was 10-6. So I had a larger point margin in my victory. He beat me by 2, and I beat him by 4. So there's a 2-point differential in my favor. So I'm crossing my fingers. If it does come to that and we do tie and Bogarts comes through for him, I'm hoping I got the edge on that. But, I don't want, count my eggs before they hatch or whatever, count my chickens before they hatch, whatever that saying is. But I want to look at the offensive breakdown. Text me. Oh. Uh, so sorry, the app is like giving me some problems, and I had to make a text. I hope you guys are having a good weekend, man. And those who are in the consolation bracket, I'm gonna give you guys a shout too. You know, you guys aren't out of it. There's $100 to be won, and if you paid for draft picks, your draft picks are paid for. So you know, there's something to get. So I'll go into that. So yeah, so looking at there we go. Finally, um, I had 76 hits, 16 home runs, 330 average, 1.002 OPS, 57 RBIs. So I really had a really strong offensive week, and I felt that I had the advantage there. And like I said, with Scherzer and Verlander, he had the advantage pitching wise. So I'm hoping this holds up. Again, if it does tie, according to Yahoo, I should have the edge, but knock on wood, we'll see how it goes. I got a beer. Cheers. So let's look at Dale and Moy's matchup. The other quarterfinal matchup. It was a kind of a shootout at the beginning. Then I think what happened was the categories that there were a few categories still close, but Dale was able to secure some categories down the line. The pitching was a toss up. I really felt this matchup was a neck and neck going into it. Dale had a lot of momentum going into the playoffs. His players were really coming through, and Donaldson. Unfortunately, Jose Ramirez was hurt, but he was coming through. You got Wilson Contreras back, who's probably a top 3 catcher this year. And you know, with Dale's, what's the other one? Oh, and Escobar. Eduardo Escobar's having a career year. So Dale had the means to make this a great year with Semien as well, but he did have some crucial injuries going into this week. Hopefully you'll get some guys back, Dale. All right, cool. And there's 4 of you on there, so comment. I want to know who's in. You know, I always appreciate you guys coming through and watching with me, and it makes it fun for me too. So I'm not just talking to myself. But yeah, so with Gallo, Dale took a big hit with Gallo's injury, but Dale's pitching held up. Got him. Looks like 3 wins, 3 quality starts. Garrett Cole has been a stud for you, and he showed up for you, Dale. Now Moy did bring it in terms of pitching. He had a solid showing in pitching. Let's just look at the matchup breakdown in terms of the categories. And exactly, I mean, hits was 5 hit difference. Home runs 2, RBIs 2, stolen bases 1. Average was close. OPS was close. I mean, one bad day for Dale and one good offensive day towards the end for Moy could have really made this thing a shootout coming into Sunday. But and Dale took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the pitching categories with a tie in quality starts, close in total bases. I mean, it really was a close matchup. I think, you know, if things had just went Moy's way a little bit more, this could have easily been a 9-8 matchup. You know, a 10-8 matchup, however the case may be, but it could have easily gone to a shootout and come down to Sunday. So, but Dale, it looks like you got the win and you're going to the semifinals. So cheers to you, Dale. Moy with a great season this year, made the postseason. So, you know, that's nothing to considering the circumstances that you lost your first round pick, the number 1 pick, and you rebounded and you made it, put yourself in contention. So I don't care what people say, you know, in terms of trades that are made. You know, myself and you, Moy, we make a lot of trades and moves that people might necessarily like, and some they do agree with. But you have to you make moves to put yourself in a position to have a chance to win. And if you make the playoffs, you were successful in putting yourself in a position with a chance to win. And that's all we can hope for. After that, you know, it's a playoffs. It's roll the dice. You know, there is no next week. You have to win that week. And in looking at the matchup, it was close in a lot of categories. So cheers to you, Moy. Cheers to Dale. Good matchup this week. And on to the next one, Dale. Let's look at the consolation bracket. And if there's anything you guys want to talk about, put it in the comment section or text me. Either way works. Consolation bracket. So Joe got a bye, and Alejandro got a bye being the 7 and 8 seed. AJ beat Ray, and Justin beat Efren. I don't know if you guys are setting your lineups, but there's something to win. So props to them. So AJ looks like if I go close for the league, I believe if I go to playoffs, there it is. It shows the breakdown of how the brackets will go. So in the consolation bracket, the next round will be AJ. Eric, cheers to you too, man. Thank you. But again, I haven't. We'll see how it goes. You know, I call me superstitious or whatever, but my matchup isn't over yet. So, but AJ will face Joe in the next round in the consolation bracket, and Justin will face Alejandro. So set your lineups, guys. $100 is $100. Get some of your money back that you put in towards the league, or at least pay for your draft picks that you traded, and get that money back. You know. So props to you guys. See you in the consolation semifinals. I believe the Sacco final is the same week as the championship week. So I don't think those guys. I don't know. I can't speak for you, the last two, Chewy and David, if you guys will set your lineups. But you know, if you want that title, you can hand it to the person, I guess, and just let them win. Now for the semifinal championship bracket breakdown, how it's looking according to this is if I advance, I will face Adam in a rematch from last year's semifinals. So it'll be me against Adam, and then Dale against Eric, which means the number 3 team will face the number 2 team. The number 5 ranked team will face the number 1 ranked team. I think that's kind of story baseball-esque that I would face Adam in the rematch in the semifinals, how a whole nother season went. And I think Adam was the number 1 ranked team who won the season last year. Same thing. So that's kind of an interesting story. It's going to be fun if I do advance. I will face Adam in the semifinal, and Dale will face Eric in the semifinal. And let's look a little bit at those matchups and see how, where I think the advantages are. Some areas that people have strengths in, and I project them to do well in, and who I think will. Well, I mean, you tell me. Obviously, you want to have multiple starts in the playoffs if you can get it, but do you sacrifice starting your 4th guy because he gets 2 starts, as opposed to maybe your number 2 guy who might only get 1 start because you want to accumulate stats? So strategically, how's it going to look? I chose Mike Fiers, who's probably my number 4 or 5 guy, because I felt he did well, but he only got 1 start. I could have easily went with someone else, like who could have got me 2 starts. But I guess you make your choices, right? And every choice is going to be crucial, especially in pitching, because the pitching stats, they really determine your matchup, and they are like precious, right? Because you don't get them every day, and you get maybe 1 shot at them. So looking at the matchups, let's look. Okay, I'll start with Eric and Dale's, because that one's a for sure one that's going to happen. Dale, it's got that matchup locked up. Okay, wait, I got a text. Okay, let's see. Eric. Oh, okay. Oh, cool, Eric. You got a couple beers. Nice. Enjoying. Unfortunately, Monday I have nobody going. Dale has an entire team going. No way. Okay, let's look at that. You're saying Dale has an advantage on you, because So next week, let's since you brought up Dale, let's look at Dale first. Dale's got a full lineup next week. That is, that's true. Harper is day to day. I don't know what the situation is with that, Dale. And Jose Ramirez, I don't know how long he's going to be shelved for you. So we'll see what happens. And you got Bieber against, or BBA or whatever his name, against the Angels. That can go. I think the Angels are the kind of team that they do really good, or your pitcher has a great shot, or they can heat up and do bad. Jose Ramirez are done for the year. Is that what you mean? Are you referring to Jose Ramirez is done for the year, or at least the fantasy year? That's did you clarify that? I think you were talking about Jose Ramirez in response to what I was asking, right? But you got Shane Bieber, one start there. If you stick with those three, Dale, I'm not sure. I think I like what we did this last week. We posted. Okay, so it was Jose Ramirez. Ah, damn. Well, you got depth, man. You got rotational depth with Donaldson and Escobar short third. Castro is the one I think you kind of wish you could swap out, but he's doing all right. I mean, rather someone than nothing, right? And then you could put Escobar at second, and then Semien at short, and then Harper when he comes back goes to utility. So you're fine right there. So going back to what I was saying, I like how we posted the three starters we're going to do at the beginning of the week. So like, hey, this is what I'm going with, and let's see what happens. If you want to keep it more your strategy, like, hey, I'm going to just pick who I want at the last minute, that's up to you. But I like that me, Moy, and Dale posted our three starters that we're going to go with in the week, and just kind of saying like, hey, this is what it is, and let's go, So Shane Bieber, one star. So you'll get 2 stars from him. You got, I don't know how many starts. If you go with the same rotation, it looks like you're going to just get 1 start from the other two, because Cole and Sirocco pitched today. And they're both pitching Friday, and Cole's got a favorable matchup against Kansas City, so you'll probably go with Garrett Cole. I don't see why you wouldn't go with Garrett Cole. And Sirocco's playing the Nationals, so that could go either way. Or you got Syndergaard against the Dodgers. So that's going to be, I think, your decision, right? Sirocco or against the Nationals, or Syndergaard against the Dodgers. That's where I think you're going to have to decide what you're going to do on that. So now let's look at Eric. Okay. So Eric, yeah, if Moustakas can play, he'll play for you tomorrow. You got Judge. Trout should be okay to go. I think it was nothing. Chris Davis and Alonso. So you might not have a full lineup, but you got some of your biggest bats going other than Arenado. So and Goldschmidt. But Trout, Davis, Alonso, like you can get 3 home runs tomorrow. So easy with Alonso, man. That guy's fucking beast, dude. Now, Eric, the 3 you have right now in your lineup are Strasburg, DeGrom, and Herman, Domingo Herman from the Yankees. I'm assuming you go there. I don't think you'd go Stroman, and everybody else is on the DL. So, so those are your 3. Let's see how many starts you get from those guys. Typically, the threshold is by Tuesday. Okay, Eric said, yeah, that's your 3. Okay, cool. All right. Typically, the threshold is Tuesday. So if you don't get a start by Tuesday, you're only going to get 1 start from the guy. So it looks like your first start is Strasburg on Wednesday against a good Minnesota team. But Strasburg has been consistent the whole year. I really liked Strasburg this year. You got next start probably won't be till Friday. No. So like Dale, you got 2 late starts. So DeGrom against the Dodgers on Saturday. And you said DeGrom goes twice. Okay, maybe I didn't. Let me look on Monday. Maybe I didn't see it. If he does, that's great for you. And then you can really see where you're at come Sunday. Oh yeah, DeGrom against Arizona. Okay, my bad. Good. Thank you for correcting me. That's a favorable matchup with going against Arizona. Arizona can be hot sometimes, but I like DeGrom in that matchup. Um, so you got an early start with DeGrom, and Dale's got an early start with I believe it was Sirocco. No, not Sirocco. Bieber. So it could start off neck and neck with you two. I The pitching is kind of a toss up, and it's kind of also a high key a shot at me because two pitchers that I trade you guys are now in the semifinals going against each other. So at least that's kind of cool. Like you guys, Garrett Cole and DeGrom could later bite me in the ass if I'm lucky enough, if I'm fortunate enough to get through the next round. Um, but yeah, so Cole and DeGrom, I would say is like it's a wash, right? Now I'll leave it up to your guys, what you guys think in terms of the other two. But Domingo Germán, who's having a great year, has a great team with the Yankees, and then you got Shane Bieber, who's having a really good year with a good team. Who they play against could alter, the strengths, right? And then depending on who Dale goes with, whether it's Sirocco or Syndergaard, and then you got Strasburg against Minnesota. So, but Sirocco's going against a tough Nationals team. Syndergaard's going against a tough Dodgers team. I think DeGrom against the Dodgers will be just fine. I think if the Dodgers, I don't see DeGrom losing that game, maybe a no decision, depending if the Dodgers clinch by then. They might not play. They might play a lot of young guys. I don't know. I mean, it's all circumstantial, but I think the matchups pitching-wise are pretty even. So now it's going to come down to offense. When you got a team in Eric that has Arenado, Trout, Chris Davis, Aaron Judge, Goldschmidt, you're looking at a favorable matchup, right, in terms of offense. But Dale's team has been sneaky good. I mean, is the innings limit the same for playoffs? Is the innings limit the same for playoffs? Yeah, I believe so. Maybe Dale can confirm it. You have to pitch 18 innings. So that kind of plays a part in terms of picking a starter that starts multiple starts. I don't know, Dale, if you're still watching, if you can confirm or not whether it's 18 inning minimum. But I believe it is because once mine hit 18, that the number went from red to green in terms of the inning minimum. So I believe it carries over the inning 18 inning minimum, Eric. So that plays a lot in your decision making in terms of who you're going to start. But I think your guys will be fine. I mean, I don't see pitchers on either side not getting 18 innings. They go at least 6. They keep the run totals low so they can ensure, and they're pros. They're some of the best pitchers, so they'll be fine. I think what's going to be interesting is strikeouts, the wins, and the quality starts in terms of the matchups. All the other stats, really. Losses, actually. Pitching is a toss-up with your guys' matchup. But then, like I said, going back, so you see Eric's all-star lineup with offense, and then you see Dale's guys who are having career years. Eduardo Escobar, Marcus Semien. Donaldson's having a resurgence here. Contreras is a great catcher. Hosmer's solid. So it's really going to be like who shows up, right? Who has players on a team that are playing for something. I think that's kind of split down the middle. Trout's always going to play well because he's that kind of baseball player, even though the Angels aren't really playing for anything. But you got players on both sides that are playing for something. So if Eric's offense shows up the way they can show up in Arenado, Goldschmidt, Trout, Chris Davis, that's going to be really tough to beat. It's going to be, I think this is going to be a narrow margin matchup. Both teams, you got to have a good day every day in this matchup. You have to have a good day every day, or else it's the other team's like that 1 or 2 day. If you have a day where the other team just dominates better than you statistically, then that could be the difference. One day could be the difference in Eric and Dale's matchup. So that's, and you don't want it any other way, right? It's the semifinals, and I like that the 4 teams in the semifinals, I think excluding Dale, but Dale's been in the top, top 3 a lot of the time during the season, have been top teams, Again, I still have some time before my matchup's over, but yeah, that their guys' matchup is going to be one to watch. So looking at the potential me and Adam matchup, I still give. I think the pitching is always going to be favored. I don't think I'm ever going to be favored in pitching. I love my offense and the way they're playing. This whole season. But Adam's got 2 MVP candidates in Yelich and Bellinger. Now, I think I can compensate for that because my guys hit really well. I mean, Suarez, I think, had 44 home runs today or 45. But let's look a little bit more at Adam's team. Like I looked at the other teams. Real Muto's a great catcher. Josh Bell's having a breakout year. Again, Cody Bellinger is doing really well. It looks like Kepler got hurt today. He's day-to-day. Yelich, beast. Segura, great player. And then he's got some rotational guys in Upton and man, he actually got some injuries. So, we'll see how that affects. But if I had to pick 3 pitchers for Adam, 3 pitchers, I would say he's probably going to go based on who they're going up against, right? So I don't know if Adam's strategy is going to be, do I play the guys that have more starts or do I play the guys that have the better matchups, even though they might have less starts? So Adam's got, so it looks like he's starting Nola on Monday against the Braves. That can go either way. If he gets offensive support, he can get a win, but the Braves are good. So that can go either way if he chooses to go with Nola. But he has him in his starting on Monday. Let's see, Wednesday, because no one for Tuesday yet. No one for Wednesday yet. Thursday, he's going with Corbin against Minnesota. Another matchup that could be up in the air. That's a tough team. And then he's going with Castillo on Friday against Arizona. So if he sticks with this, Nola, Corbin, and Castillo are his 3 guys. He's got closers. I don't. So advantage him on saves. If he wants to go with Lance Lynn, if he decides to switch it up, let's see, Lance Lynn. I don't think he likes Lance Lynn's team that he's on, the Rangers. And I don't think he feels like, if I had Lance Lynn, I wouldn't feel confident that he can get a win because that team is just doing terrible right now, man. The Rangers, they're not playing well at all. So I think he feels more confident in those 3 guys, getting him run support and giving his pitchers a chance. I can't lie. I like who the teams his pitchers are going up against. Now me, Fires has been really good against Houston this year. I know that doesn't seem like it makes sense, but he's been really good against Houston this year. Last time he played Houston, he got a no decision. And then the time before that, he had a 2.35 ERA, quality start. And the time before that, he got a win. I don't know if I like that because they're the best team in the West. And I don't know if I'm going to go with that. My issue is that Barrios has been struggling. And I don't want to go with Eovaldi because he hasn't been playing. He only averages like 4 innings. I can't get nothing with 4 innings. I can't get wins. I can't get a quality start. Or I can go Bumgarner. He's starting on Monday against Pirates. That's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go Bumgarner on Monday against the Pirates. The Giants are playing really well right now. So I got Bumgarner on Monday against the Pirates, which means I'll get 2 starts from him. Oh, hold on. Someone's here at my house. Hey. Oh, I'm just talking with my friends. No. It's on the computer. We're chatting on the computer. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll be in like in 10, 15 minutes? Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. She still finds her way. I'll grab her right now. Okay. But still, like, she finds her way. Yeah, that's when we got to bring her in. She did? Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna talk to Jasmine. No, it's not though. She can't be messing the plants up. Yeah, well. Yeah. And when we bring her in at night, she's good. But the other night we weren't here, and she made a lot of noise. Sorry about that, man. Still, though, I'm gonna be more on top of her. All right, I'll be in about 15 minutes. Thanks. All right, I'm back. Talking to my my grandfather, Jasmine's grandpa. Then got food for me. All right, so yeah, so looking at my pictures, again, I'm gonna go Bumgarner, and I'm gonna stick with Charlie Morton. That guy's been really good, but it looks like he's going against the Angels. That's a tough matchup, and I got Odorizzi going against Cleveland, or Mike Leake against Cincinnati. If I do get Blake Snell back, he won't be back till the following week, where he's gonna actually play a lot. He might pitch next week, but I don't think he's gonna pitch long. So those are my. I'm gonna go Odorizzi. I like his matchup against the Indians. He pitched well against the Indians this week, and then I got Bumgarner for a second start against Miami, so that's favorable. So, but hopefully I get the win. We got some text, Eric. Okay, yeah, I saw that. All right, so that's the. I want to thank you guys for being on the chat. I think you guys had to tap out. Sorry about the interruption. Just my dog is acting damn full, so I had to take care of that. And then my grandfather wanted to talk to me for a minute. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Cheers to those who did. Dale making it to the next round. You and Eric got a hell of a matchup up against. If I go ahead and get through this, I will face Adam in a rematch at the semifinals from last year. And Adam, rematch, that would be great, man. So it's kind of I'm glad it worked out that way, that last year we went up against each other and we got to go up against each other in a rematch this year. So I feel like the top 4 teams are the ones who made it to the semifinals. I think Moy, you had a great team, and if you would have made it, then you absolutely should have been there. Cheers to Moy, and cheers to Carlos. Hell of a season. Again, knock on wood. I'm a superstitious guy, so it's not over till it's over. But cheers, guys. And here's to the semifinals. Let's go get it, huh? Catch you guys on the next one. Love you guys.